In the heart of a bustling city, on the third floor of an old white brick building, lived a cat named Lulu. With her coat of silvery fur and blazing amber eyes, Lulu was, by all accounts, stunning. A feline of such poise and beauty that anyone passing through the hallway would pause and look at her, napping in the sun-drenched living room window. Lulu had a certain reputation among the animals of the building. Her movements were slow, deliberate. She seemed to glide across the parquet floor as if unwilling to touch it more than absolutely necessary. Each day, as the sun slid from one side of the room to the other, Lulu watched her little dominion from above. The courtyard below, the clotheslines, the pigeons cooing near the gutters, and, of course, the collection of other animals whose lives, she sometimes thought, revolved around her presence. In the next apartment over, a sleek black dog named Ringo lived with his owner, a gentle, quiet painter. Ringo was everything Lulu disdained: gregarious, tail-wagging, prone to breaking into joyous fits whenever someone entered the building. Downstairs, a pair of cheerful turtles, Habiba and Nabil, spent their days on a balcony, gazing out at clouds and mumbling secrets to each other. On the rooftop, a gang of boisterous pigeons gathered, proud of their aerial skills, but still faintly awed by Lulu's cold stare whenever she passed on her way out for a bit of sunshine. To all of them, Lulu's attitude was unmistakable. When Ringo barked a cheerful good morning in the stairwell, she replied with a dismissive flick of her tail and an arched back, whiskers twitching in disdain. The turtles once offered, through the fence, a perfectly round grape, an act of kindness unreciprocated, as Lulu merely sniffed and turned her head, nose tilting a precise 2 millimeters higher into the air. As for the pigeons, Lulu never lowered herself to acknowledge them at all. She simply watched, eyelids half lowered in feigned boredom, as they soared and swooped just out of reach.
She thinks she's royalty,
Ringo would say to the turtles, not unkindly, as he lay sprawled on the landing in the late afternoon. The turtles, in their laconic fashion, agreed, Habiba tapping Nabil on the shell as if to say, let her have her pride, she's not hurting anyone. But there was more to it than pride. Lulu truly believed, in her silent and graceful way, that she was simply better, more elegant, more intelligent, and certainly more deserving of respect than the simple, boisterous creatures with whom she shared this old building. Life, however, has a way of toppling the proud from their pedestals. It happened one autumn evening, the kind when the city's air is thick with the smell of rain and distant cooking fires. Lulu, always careful to avoid the humans who swept the hallways and chatted by the letterboxes, prowled out onto the fire escape for her nightly inspection of the neighborhood. Just as she stretched, luxurious, slow, every muscle taut, her paw slipped on a slick patch of rainwater, and in an instant she tumbled unceremoniously down, landing with a muffled thud on a second-floor balcony below. Dazed, Lulu shook herself off, her usual composure shattered. She tried to leap back up, and again, and again. Each time, her claws scraped the brick, and her body sagged a little further, energy ebbing and confidence eroding under the strain. From above, the pigeons watched in silent surprise. From below, Ringo barked anxiously, and even the turtles peered upward, unusually alert for the hour. Pride kept Lulu silent. But after an hour with no progress, cold and shivering, she relented. She mewed, just once, small and plaintive. To her surprise, it was the turtles who responded first, calling out in their slow, gentling voices,
Stay calm, dear, we'll get help.
Ringo, tail wagging furiously, ran to his owner and barked until the man got up, window thrown open. Soon enough, the painter and the turtle keepers arrived, puzzled by the unusual late-night commotion. Working together, they set up a ladder, and the painter gently coaxed Lulu back into her own apartment. The next morning, as sunlight returned, Lulu awoke in her favorite spot, a little sore, but safe beneath her owner's gentle hand. She listened to the chirrups of the turtles in the hallway, the bark of Ringo down in the entrance, and the gentle flapping of pigeons on the rooftop. For the first time, shame pricked her heart. The animals she had ignored or gently rebuffed had come together without hesitation to help her in her hour of need. She rose, slowly, more gently than before, and walked over to the open window, surveying her world with new eyes. The following days, she tried something unfamiliar. She chirped a greeting at Ringo, who wagged his tail in surprise and delight. She sat beside the turtles on their balcony for an hour, sharing the warm sun and even accepting a grape with a single gracious nod. As for the pigeons, a respectful silence hung between them. But now, Lulu's gaze was not one of disdain, but admiration for their graceful, swooping dances. She wasn't perfect. Sometimes old habits reared up, an elevated paw, an arch of the back. But each time, she remembered that rain-slick night and what it meant to accept help and return a kindness. In time, the animals no longer whispered about Lulu the Proud, but rather Lulu the Friend, whose dignity was now matched by understanding and a newly opened heart. And so, amidst the comings and goings of city life, the animals of the building grew a little closer, each one taking pride in their shared home. And the cat in the window always remembered to greet the morning with a little bow. Just so.